And we're live. Look at that mid stretch. I knew that wasn't going to be fully ready for that, but as always, sometimes we just got to jump into stuff, even if we're not fully ready, and we have to remember that you can't fuck this up, and it's all always working out in your favor. Look at this. I put 2 rings on for you guys today. Anyway, we're going to let people come into the chat, and we're going to begin because once again, I didn't do it early in the morning. It is another late night mystic manifesting session. We solved the mystery of the spider in the window. It's something ripped open the screen. That's what that is. Anyway, way to clear my throat and really having a hard time while I'm about to smoke cigars. So if YouTube wants to demonetize, this is the time. All right, let's get going. What's up, Inked and Beautiful, aka the Ghosted Woman? Welcome in, whoever else is here. I'm deciding what cigar this is going to be. I am motivating myself, going around my head, and it will be something to talk on for a while where I could ramble and spend some time coming up with a good story for you guys. Eric, what's up, brother? Courtney, what's up, brother? I like that, the bro. We are just deciding on the cigar for today. But I do have a story about you can't fuck this up. I didn't text you today, but I thought of you. I thought about that too. About the thought transmission actually just a few minutes ago. Because all day today, I have been trying to figure out how to make a website, working on it, learning Wix, stuff like that. Had no problem taking the cash from me to buy the names. So technically, I own it, but there's work to be done. And so with that, we'll go with a celebratory one. I got to still hit a second workout tonight, and I do have some videos kind of in mind, but I think we should talk about why you can't fuck this up, why it's always working out in your favor. And I think I have a perfect story for it. Behold the mystic. Yes, sir, Jordan. What's up, brother? All right, so let's see, guys. I will set this up. If you got questions, I'm also going to talk about for somebody wanting to manifest a vehicle and a little manifestation progress report for myself on something I'm working on. It's not my exact manifestation, but movement is, what is that? Oh, I get distracted. Movement is just as much as the manifestation. Whenever you get movement, you have to just use that to further affirm that you are on the right path and you already have what you want. Because remember, that's the core of all this. Being thankful and asking for, like, instead of asking, we are grateful that we have already received something, right? That's the definition of prayer in the Bible. It's also the definition of manifesting. You will get whatever you want as long as you are thankful for it now. That's why the gratitude came so heavy. Do you have an email account where I can reach out? Yes, that's mysticmanifesting@gmail.com. You can reach out through there. If you want to book a session, you could book that. All the videos have that Calendarly link, or you could send an Instagram message at flex_Lassiter. But I should really try to make that muscular mystic or something like that. But I want to talk about somebody that I know that wants to manifest a truck. We're going to talk about not being able to fuck this up, and I think we'll start there. Let some more people roll in. We actually got a good crowd. Seems like whenever we go later, maybe we'll switch it to Monday Night Live, because whenever we're going later, it seems that we get more viewers. So I think that might be better for everyone, and if they need help in questioning, and if anything, we'll switch back, or I'll do more lives. Seems like that was the general consensus. More lives and more videos. So I had videos in mind. I just didn't film them yet, and that's something I've been putting off. It's like, once you haven't done something in a while, you break a diet, break your mental diet, you stop doing your visualization techniques, you break discipline, it becomes harder to get back into stuff. And that's especially true even with manifesting too. I thought about this at the gym. Being consistent on your diet and working out is very important, but just like we want to live in the end, right? It should be simple as like, oh, here's what I want to experience. Here's what my life's going to be. Boom, I just jump right into it. Well, then you start to slack off and you don't believe it. There's stuff that I've had that have manifested into my life. I would slack off and I had not really fully ingrained the belief that was going to work out. We saw it with SP stuff a lot. It's like you stop doing all the gratitude, all the thankfulness, and then you start just letting yourself coast. And then you start looking more, you see something, it's like, that kind of reminds me of this. And now you've locked onto that and you just focus on the negatives. And without even knowing it, you've backslid and unmanifested what had been manifested. So we'll talk about that. But I do think the story that I've been watching it unfold for a while. I was involved, but not fully involved in it. I was at the place where all this stuff happened. So we'll go through. Just tuned in. Yes, more lives. Good to be here. Good to have you here, John. Yeah, I just started, brother. Had a really good talk with my friend about the Gospel of John. Got me back to praying. That's awesome, Eric. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. It's like I keep the Bible sitting out, and I will credit Lily for pushing me more towards that. And you know, she's like, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that." It's like, you know what? It's a good to read, and it reminds you a lot of. It's like I showed my dad. He came over, and I was like, the stuff I'm teaching. I'm like, take a look at this, and I like fan the pages of the Bible. I'm like, all those blue highlights. That's all manifesting right there. Those are all lines and stories that pertain to it. Whatever you ask for in prayer and believe that you have received, it will be yours. Mark 11:24. Exactly, Eric. Thank you. It's a big topic of what I want to talk to today. But I also want to talk about why you can't fuck this up. My go-to line. Like I said, I'm working on developing the website. I want to be able to link that and make new merch to go with it. I removed the "you can't fuck this up" on a lot of the shirts because I feel like people would not want to wear them. But for those edgier folks like myself, we'll wear them. I was going to text you today about my success, but I was at my dad's and exhausted. I did think about you, though, Ink, today. It's like I haven't heard from her in a while. I got to reach out. All right, let me light this and we'll tell the story. Oh, that really gave out there. Moral of the story, size doesn't matter. Anyway, let's tell the real story about why you can't fuck this up. So I haven't really planned it out. It's just been something I've been observing. So you guys know I did the bodybuilding competition, right? Okay, well, drama ensued around that. And not for me particularly. I knew where I was probably going to place once I showed up. I had a feeling. I'm like, okay, I did it for me. I wanted to look my best and feel my best when I got on stage. I did that. I beat my goal. Well, right away, it's like, you would think big, strong guys, we would be more, secure and masculine and stuff like that. No, I had seen even drama backstage with all this. Grown men acting like little girls and stuff like that. So right away, you kind of it's like, I don't want to be around these bad vibes. It's like, I want to focus on this. It's almost like my story when when I go gambling, I don't like to be by people who are smashing on the machines. It's a bad vibe. I don't want to deal with that. Gary, what's up, my brother? How you doing? So anyway, the moral of the story is I'll give you a quick rundown on it. Competition goes off. There's the guy who won the competition. I don't know how much my mom and Lily filmed with the competition. I don't know if they did the judging part at the end. They picked their, this really, maybe size did matter. In this competition, they picked the winners, right? Or they picked the finalists who they want to judge, compare them to the other guys, right? Well, they picked the one guy. He wins the show, right? Looked good. I saw later on his posing routine on Instagram. It's like, okay, he did good. No, for me, I felt I had won, at least for my own personal thing, because I wanted to go and talk with Tom Platz. I had that long conversation and that meaningful conversation. I became friends with the owner of the gym. It inspired me to open a gym, which I have my little bit of success story going with that. So that's basically my experience at the show. The next day, I didn't really know who won. I knew the one dude won because I saw him get the belt and everything. He's walking around with the belt backstage. There was another guy who I thought could have won. It could have won anyway. I saw the four guys who I thought would win. Well, basically the next day or two later, the promoter of the show comes out with Tom Platz and they talk about, okay, hey, this was the real winner. There was a mix-up in the belts, the mix-up in the votes and who really won. Basically, they gave it to this other guy. I see the other guy who they gave it to and gave the title to and everything like that. He's got a ton of followers online. I didn't know that he was famous online. I don't follow the fitness community like that. You guys know me. I'm the mystic. I love fitness, but I'm not really in that community. kind of another thing, which I think every community gets its own thing of toxicity to it. Maybe it's a limiting belief, but it's just what I witnessed. I don't really get involved in that. So I don't know anything about this guy, but I guess he's famous in the fitness community. What it looked like was you swapped out the winner for another one who's more famous, and he's going to get the gym more people there, right? That's what it looks like to everybody else. Myself seeing it, it's like, well, I mean, I didn't come in first place, so I don't really give a shit who's in first place. I was pretty far off from first, so I'm like, I really don't give a fuck who wins. I became friends with the owner, so I'm like, well, whatever he thinks is the best thing, and if Tom thinks it was a mess up, whatever. And it's like Tom's like, oh, own up to your mistakes, and I abide by that. If I fuck up, you guys have seen me. I come on here. If I fuck up or something goes bad, I'm real. I like real, honest, and raw. So I respected that. Hey, this is what we believe. Here's what we want. Man, that TV is loud as hell. It's like here's what we believe. We fucked up. We're owning up to our mistake. You know, the people who won and the money they won, keep it, whatever. Well, the guy who lost it, I could understand him. This is the thing I said, when you start getting into this whole forgiveness thing, you don't really get to be mad at anyone because you're like, oh, okay, I can relate with the guy who won the competition having stripped away. How do I feel in that position? I'd be pissed off. But then I also feel like if I was the guy who should have won and then I didn't get it, I would feel ripped off. And then finding out even though I should have got it. So it's like I get both of their points. I get the promoter's point and I get the judge's point. Everything made sense. The guy who had it stripped away starts talking to people, I guess. I don't know what the hell their story goes, but I start seeing it. He talks to like a dude, doesn't even look like he lifts, but he runs like a big fitness page online. I guess it's like a fitness page, but it's like the guy's whole thing. And you guys might know this about me. It's like, I don't like fucking haters. I don't like people who just sit there. Like, you could talk the talk, but you can't walk the walk. I mean, you could see it by the channel. I won't show up and take money for coaching if I'm not 100%. I won't, put myself, if I fuck something up, I'll own up to my mistakes, which is what I respected what they did. So my values didn't really line up with the guy who sits there and makes all his money online off talking shit about people or spreading gossip and rumors and shit like that. I didn't respect the dude. So that dude goes and he makes a video and he's trying to throw the gym under the bus. He's trying to talk shit about the judge, who's a legend in the sport, and the whole competition. And then I guess there is some actual guy who walks the walk too, like he's actually in shape. But mentally, he don't walk the walk. It's like a strong man builds others up. That's what I try to do with this channel. I want you to, there's a good degree of guys that they want you to be successful, but not more successful than them. Everyone who I coach, I want you to get results faster than me. I want you to do better than me because that means I'm doing my job. That means I've really learned what this is, and I want to help build other people up. Anyway, there's like this dude who don't even lift, in my opinion. From what I've seen, you'd only show your head like this with a little double chin and extra long beard to hide whatever lack of a facial feature you got. Now it's me talking shit and stirring stuff up too. But he goes out, makes all this whole thing, causes controversy for the gym. I became friends with the owner. I said, hey, same thing you said already. He already wrote, bad publicity is still publicity and all publicity is good, right? Yeah, that's true. So I said, look at it that way. That's the mystic mindset, right? Keep your mind on the positive. Hey, people might be hating on you, but everybody sees and knows your gym now. And it's going to boost you up in the long run. Look how many people they see Zach, what's up, brother? Look how many people they go on like Dr. Phil. They catch me outside, girl. She got a bunch of publicity, but she was known for being a little bitch. But guess what? Now she's famous and rich. So if you know how, what you're doing and you keep a positive mental attitude, publicity is publicity, right? So I tell the guy that, and he's already saying that. So it's like, okay, that worked out in his favor, even though some people could have looked at it like, oh, I fucked up my first competition. I did this, I did that. And he could have beat the shit out of himself mentally about how this competition didn't go the way he wanted. And he could have just really been down on himself and things could have kept spiraling worse. There could still be drama ensuing and bad things coming. And basically it all died off after a couple of days, ignored it, blocked the people that were talking shit and just moved on. The other guy who was supposed to win or whatever, the right way that they thought, well, obviously he's happy now. He's got he's got the title, everything like that. But the guy who had the title stripped from him, he's the guy who I was thinking, I'm like, that's where I got the example of you can't fuck this up. So I don't know if he talked shit to the dude who was gossiping or if that guy just picked up on the story or whatever, because it was streamed on multiple platforms, including the Mystics. So the whole show was streamed. So whatever it was, this guy picked it up, starts this whole controversy. Other channels start picking it up, and the one dude is in shape, and he was, I don't know if he ever competed, but he's He's in the fitness community. I heard his name before. I don't know shit about him. I don't know if he's ever competed, but it's like this dude, Greg Doucette, goes around. And I guess one of the things somebody said, I didn't watch his video. If it's going to be negative, I'm not watching it. I try not to consume stuff like that. I guess it's all these people weren't ready or whatever. Fuck people saying that. We went there to do what we wanted to do for ourselves and promote ourselves. And this is going to have all my own little opinions peppered into it. And it's going to be dragged out, but we're getting to the point. The dude who won but didn't really win and got the title taken away. Throughout all this stuff, all this drama going around, he's in the middle of all of it. Now, through that, what, you don't make money in the bodybuilding world by winning shows. You make it through sponsorships, like modeling contracts, things like that. Like, the show is just for you to showcase stuff, and then you can make your money through the sponsorships and your merch companies and being famous online. It's not really about the art. If you want to make a living at it, you'd have to have a sponsor. Well, long story short, because of the drama, the dude got a sponsorship through First Form, which is a big supplement company. I remember when I don't know if they've been around longer than this, but I remember when I first got into bodybuilding, that was like a big company. So the point of it is, it worked out for everybody. But if everyone would have looked at it as, oh, this is so fucked up, their minds and kept their minds in the gutter, even if it was working out for them, the dude would still just be lamenting. I don't know. I don't talk to him. I have no clue anything about him. I followed him back on Instagram, but it's like if he would have been negative minded, he would have been looking at, well, I don't have to win still. I don't have to win. You got something better than the win. I went to the show. I wasn't confident that I still had my fat rolls and no full six pack yet, but I still went up there. I posed. I had fun. I had fun bonding with my mom and Lily. Like, it was a good experience for me. And my main goal was I wanted to be able to meet and talk with Tom Platz. I had the longest conversation with him out of any competitor. Now, I don't know about the guy who won and came back the next day for a photo shoot stuff, but even Lily and my mom were like, the guy who won the show, the one who had the title stripped away, he kept trying to jump into the conversation me and Tom were having. And I was going to say goodbye. Hey, you know what? See you later. But like, he would turn, respond to the guy, and I'd still be, and then, hey, and then he would say something else to me. So the conversation kept going because he's big into like, the power of the mind, manifesting, stuff like that. So I accomplished my goal. And I always had that dream of opening a gym. Through this, the avenues opened up. And I'm looking for a location now in Chicago. I want to open a gym. I've got a certain area. I've cruised the area. I've checked Facebook Marketplace. Here's my little success story now. I couldn't find nothing. And I thought, I saw this one girl I used to work with at a gym. I'm like, wouldn't it be crazy? She's a real estate lady now. Like, wouldn't it be crazy if she was the one who found me a place in the same area where we had our gym before? This and that. It was a quick, fleeting, not even full, complete thought, but just like, oh, that would be cool to, like, if she had the place. Quick thought or whatever. And she only sells homes. And I feel like it's different to have a commercial real estate person. I send her a message today when she's like, anybody looking for commercial spots in this particular neighborhood, which I was. I said, hey, long time no talk. Yes, I am. Would be interested. And she's like, well, let me run the stuff, see what's around. What are you looking for? This and that. I gave her all the information. Now waiting to hear back. And that was kind of my little success story. It's just movement. But if I treat that like, hey, I've already got the gym, like, I know what the gym looks like and I know the area. I don't know exactly where this place is going to be, but I get a feel or a vibe that it's already there. And I've searched it. I have one building in mind, but it's occupied. It's been occupied for years. Who knows? The theory could be that, hey, or not the theory, the fucking bridge of events could unfold, but hey, this guy closes. I don't want to wish no one bad though. Maybe he's been going out of business or retiring or whatever. It's an old body shop. Maybe that body shop guy decides to retire, put his place up for rent. Boom, that's where my gym goes. So that's the little bit of success that I've found through my little thing, but also the point I wanted to make was you can't fuck this up. So really, at the end of the day, how many winners were there to that show? 12 guys stepped on stage. Every single one of them could have left a winner, depending what their goal was. I left a winner because I wanted to be able to, I said it before, another thing, I had the exact thing of cigars. I'm like, I would love to give Tom one of these. And I didn't know I had the cigars with me, and I left them at my parents' house. And when my mom packed her bag, she threw my cigars in there. She goes, oh, I brought these for you. And then I'm like, those are the ones I was going to give Tom. And then I was like, I didn't bring them to the show. She goes, oh, here, do you want to give this to him? I'm like, oh, my God, the exact cigars. And when I picked them up, I said, wouldn't it be cool if I gave this to Tom Platz? Gave him the cigar. He was very impressed with it. Gave me his personal email and stuff. It is still yet to be determined how we, about doing the podcast together. I sent him a message like 2 weeks ago, but I could look at that in the way of like, oh, he's never going to respond. Why didn't he respond to me? No big deal. Like, if he responds, he responds. If not, there will be one way. I'll be at another competition and we'll meet each other there and then we'll do it. I'm excited for how things unfold. I don't ask how or when or why. I'm excited to see how they unfold, not for them to unfold exactly how I want, because they could unfold better than you expected. I mean, that guy walked in there that he was going to win the show, and he wins the show, but then loses his title, and then what? Well, guess what? You really fucking won because you got the highest award you can get in that community, especially for someone who's been doing it for 7 years. I overheard him. He was doing it for 7 years. You've been doing this for 7 years with 0 sponsorships, and it took fucking up at a show that you were there for practice to warm up for another show. I don't know if that was him, but there was one other guy saying, oh, I'm just here for practice. And then that guy lost. And you know what? That guy came in second place. So, don't you think the guy in second place would have been the one who should have been first? He came in second, and I saw him complaining to the judges after he came in second. So just being grateful for that opportunity that you had. It's almost like when you get something from the universe, when your manifestation kind of unfolds, but it's not exactly what you want, and being ungrateful for it. It's like someone giving you a gift, you're spitting in the face. You got second place, dude. There's 10 people who finished behind you. Even third place is behind you. You should be happy. But he wasn't. But and then after that, the third place guy seemed grateful for it. I didn't know anything about him. I know he's famous online. He winds up getting the first place spot. So he seemed to maintain a positive mental attitude. The other guy in first place, even though he had the title stripped away, he kept it, and boom, success for him. I got the success I wanted, and I would say I finished probably bottom 3. I mean, you guys watched the show. I would say probably bottom 3 out of that, because I think there was only 2 other guys who also didn't have their abs out. But for me, I won what I wanted to do. I did everything I wanted to do when I went there. And it gave me motivation to train harder for next time when I have more time to train. H, what's up, brother? Much love back to you. Thank you, John. Yeah, I've been thinking about that story a lot. I've been watching it unfold online. And I'm like, you know what? Where's the lesson in this? Why does this negative stuff keep popping up in my feed? And I'm like, well, why am I calling it negative? How is this positive? And I look into that, and it's like, boom, there's how it's positive. The guy actually did like me. He got the first and lost it, but he really maintained the win and actually went above first place. The only way to get even higher than a first place is he had to lose and be knocked out of the rankings, moved from first to third, or maybe first. I don't even know how they would rank that, but sorry, this thing's all dead. I've been really getting into the stories. Now I'm going to give a quick manifesting story. If you guys have questions, drop them. Let me know what you guys are asking. I want to tell a success story from someone who I don't know if he's watching it, but he was talking about manifesting a truck. And I'll go over what I think he should be doing for that. It was actually funny. I was prefacing that, a success story for me. I was manifesting a car too. It said by the end of summer, I'm going to have a silver Pontiac Solstice for under $5,000. Funny enough, one of them came up on Facebook Marketplace, and it's like, I could get that, but then I haven't, like, it's available. I don't know if it is today. This was a couple of days ago. I'm like, summer isn't over. That's under $5,000. It's silver. It's in good condition. I wrote out, like, I don't have the book with me, but a whole bunch of stuff. It's right there. And this is a little success story for you guys with whatever you want to manifest. It will sometimes present itself, but you don't have to take it. There's your free will. You could manifest things into your reality, but choose not to take them. Like, let's say you're manifesting your specific person, and just for practice, to detach a little bit, you're like, oh, I'm going to manifest a perfect specific person or an ideal person into my reality. And then that girl shows up or that guy shows up, right? But then at the same time, too, your ex comes back, and that's the person you were originally trying to go for. You now have a choice. I had been faced with this choice before. I chose my ex, Lily. That's who I chose. But the other option was there. So everything you ask God for, you will be presented to you in your reality. I just chose that. So in the same way, we have this thing with the car. Here's the thing where some people talk about the time limit. Well, if it's been that long, will I still want it? You might not want it after that. But the thing that you do want now is something better. See what I'm saying? It's not wrong. You're chasing a feeling. Life gives you the feeling that you desire. Feeling is the secret. So my feeling of having that convertible might not be what it was. But in that time, I saw some other cars. I'm like, well, this would be nice. This would be nice. But I never wrote out what they were going to be. I never went to sleep with this desire. It never really tried for the desire. But everything you say that you want, it will present itself. And it's keeping that positive mental attitude. Like I said, like, oh, you wanted first place and then you lost first place. If you would lose your mentality, you're going to lose the ability to get that first place again, or to get above that first place, which was the sponsorship. You wouldn't be able to get that because your mindset is looking for problems. So when it's looking for solutions, it's like, oh, wow, here's something better. And like, I'm like, you know what? If I could do that, I could manifest something newer. And plus, I have a car that was way newer. The model car I wanted, that Solstice, they don't make it anymore. It's been discontinued now for like 15 years. No, damn, 20 years. Damn, 2006 is almost 20 years ago, 18 years ago. And then my car, which is like 8 years newer than that, I want to say, 7 years older than that, started having problems around this time. Nothing major. I mean, I got them fixed today. But it was like, if a newer car is having these problems, I should just, go big or go home, aim for a better car. So knowing exactly what you want to is always a big thing. So for the guy who wants to manifest the truck, this next part will be for you. But I just want to say, yes, I've manifested a car too. Not just this one. There was another time too when I was younger. I was so honed in on like we talked about this. He's not here today, but Tutu and me talked about this in the last live stream where we were talking about my first cars and stuff. When I lost that first Buick LeSabre, I wanted a Buick LeSabre again. I saw it. I'm like, I need another one. The same. I got 1 year off and a slightly off gold instead of gold on the car. And I was like, well, I guess at that time I was very into law of attraction. I was 19, 20 when that was happening. And I learned about the movie The Secret, when I was 16. So I'm only 5 years into the journey. It's like, think positive and positive stuff will happen. And I got almost the exact same car. And then I really lost interest in it. And I'm like, I just want something better. And then that's when it blew up. And then a newer car came, which is the one I have now. So I've manifested the cars before too. Let me see. Let me answer these questions, and then we'll go into my advice for the guy who wants to manifest the truck. And it's funny too. The truck he wants to manifest was actually one of my dad's dream cars at one point that he had. What if it's been 6 months of separation, and I met with SP last week, but she said I was too toxic in the past, even though she's seen I've changed, so much was done. Can this be turned around? How? Even if she rejected me 3 times in the past 6 months and then put me back into no contact last week. Okay, so let me say this. First of all, nothing is impossible because remember my story, EA. I don't know how long you've been with the channel. I don't recognize your name really from the chats unless you've changed and you were somebody else before. I'll tell you this. Then we'll get into and then, Ink said anything is possible. There you go. But before I get into the manifesting the truck story, I'll touch on this. So you got to remember my story. I had done everything right on paper, right? Maybe I had been clingy and stuff. Then we had gotten in big fights and things like that. And, when all this happened, there was a lot of hurt and stuff. And I'm sure I said stuff too, and on both sides, where I was completely blocked and shut out and told, I never want to see you. It was pretty much I never want to see you again. I'm giving it a positive spin because I try to always revise all my stories, but being real with you guys, it's like, I don't want to see you again. I'm sorry, this can't happen again. It was fun while it lasted, blah, blah, blah. It was a nice goodbye, but then it was like, no, that's it. No matter what message you sent, no matter what you said, anything, remember, you could do everything right on paper, but you're doing it to get something because you don't believe you deserve it. And at the core, if you don't believe you deserve it, and you don't believe you're good enough and it will never happen, or you don't really believe you've made a change, like you can do stuff and say, I made a change, and then you don't feel like you changed because you need that person to acknowledge it. If you're in that state, then you haven't really changed because you need to learn to be happy and love yourself. And when you could give yourself that love, then you can be loved. Because remember, the world is a mirror. Whatever you feel and give yourself, the world will reflect. And it's a very fine line to walk because sometimes you feel like you're doing that. And it's hard because you almost have to forget them. but not at the same time. This is what I'm saying. It's like a fine line to walk, where it's like, oh, I forgot you, but I still want you. You can do that. It's a fine line to walk. But no matter what it is, it's like all the inner conversations have to be like, you know what, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I was processing it. You create a story. I believe in the being the blocked part being the easiest part, because you write the story. Whatever you don't see, like you don't have to see anything. Like when you see nothing, you write the story, because you know whatever's going on in the background is whatever you're writing. Remember, in all my stories, I said, she's thinking this, she's thinking that. She can't stop thinking about me, blah, blah, blah. And when you guys have seen her here on the channel say, I don't know why I was not able to forget you. Out of everyone in my life, like she said, she had a 7-year relationship, didn't care, got over that shit really quick. Never tried to go back with that person. There were times then she had reached out to me. I cannot tell you the how and I cannot tell you the when. That the only rule to this is the same thing Neville said, the same thing every mystic teacher has said throughout the ages. I cannot tell you how and I cannot tell you when, because I couldn't even tell myself how and when. I could create a feeling. You could do a time crunch, and it's been done. I've manifested an SP on a time crunch. I've manifested certain miracles on a time crunch because there was no other way. I saw no other way, but also the universe or God gives it to you in the most easy, natural way. And it just happened to be lined up that way. Sometimes, like me reaching 1,000 subscribers within a year, I cannot remember if it was the day before, the day of, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't the day of. And I think more or less it was the day after. Is it any less rewarding that it happened the day after or not the way that I wanted? I wanted to have 1,000 and be monetized. I was not monetized on that day. I wound up being monetized months earlier because that was the easiest way to give it to me. I was nowhere near the 1,000 at that point, but I wanted to be able to get monetized. That happened first because the YouTube changed all the rules like 2.5 months before the 2 years was up or the 1 year was up. So no matter if it takes one man or a million, everybody will play their part to bring you your desire. It is trust, faith, loving yourself, forgiving the other person, understanding that, what did Jesus say? Forgive them, they know not what they do. Everyone is just a mirror. Like when I would ask my SP, why did you treat me that way? Or you ask certain people, why were you acting this way? Most people say, I don't know. And you can look at it as, well, there's a liar. But if you take them at face value, you don't know. Yeah, they don't know what they do. Because really, if you trace yourself back, ask yourself, the only person in your own reality is yourself, not in a condescending, narcissistic asshole way, but in the way of people are going to only treat you the way you expect to be treated. If you go back, what was I thinking at that time? Where was my mind at that time? And you go, oh, yeah, I was feeling negative. I was expecting the worst, this and that. You'll realize it was your own thoughts that had created that. And just as your own thoughts could have accidentally created something you didn't want, there's no reason your purposeful, positive, loving thoughts could create exactly what you want. And number one thing is to get your mind on track first. So let me light this again, and I'll read what else we got. Value yourself. Also expect good from yourself. There you go, H. Perfect. Anything is possible if you manifest it. Yes, sir, Glizzy Gobbler. I still love that name. That name is hilarious. Makes me laugh every time I see it. I think I'm getting close myself. I'm over 500 now. That was my success. 400 new subs last week. That's awesome, mate. That's your new channel, too. Look at that. Wait, you're at 500 now, and you made that channel, what, like a week or two ago? Maybe? Yeah, I think it's only the second live where you're with the ghosted woman. So a week or two, boom, and you're almost there. No problem, EA. That's what I'm here for. That's what these lives are about. And I'll get back to the original thing. If you guys have more questions, drop them. I'll get to them as we go along. But you had to bear with me through the story about how to get the truck. So what is the first rule to manifestation? Do we know, class? What is the first rule? I'll answer it. Know exactly what you want. So luckily for this person, I know that he knows exactly what he wants. He wants a 1999 Chevy Suburban. Or is it the GMC? I know there's two different versions, but I saw the picture of it. He knows the color. He knows the make. He knows it's got the lifted tires. Everything I would look for in a car, it's there. He wants it for a cheap price. The price is already pretty cheap. I'm like, I think it could go lower. Why? Because I believe anything's possible. And two, I see it's got high mileage on it too. But for the amount of miles on it, it supposedly has no problems. Even if it does, you could talk the price down. It makes it easier for the price. And then you just affirm that that car is a perfectly working car. So number one, he knows exactly what he wants. Now the fundage might not be exactly there, but it's in the marketplace. Now you might be like, oh no, it's going to go because it's a good car in the marketplace. It's going to get taken. The more you think that, the more you create fear over that, and you create a desire. This 25-year-old truck would wind up on a fucking pedestal, and it will be desired by a bunch of people and be snatched up right away. So you remove your attention from what you don't want, which is somebody else taking it, or it being a lemon piece of shit car. You put your attention on this is an amazing car. Nobody's found it. That's awesome. And I have plenty of time, and whatever money I need is going to be brought to me in the most normal, perfect, miraculous way. So if you know it's exactly that car, that particular one's like a specific person. I specifically want this car, and it's going to be like this. You might find some things you don't like. And it's funny enough, you might find another version of that car come up later. It might get sold, but it's like it had a few things you didn't want. Let's say that one gets sold. Another one even better will appear, and it's like, oh wow, that one has actually everything I wanted. So sometimes losing out on something is all right because it's, you know, in your heart of hearts that there was something that you don't want there, but you don't want to say it because you think that's the best deal you're going to get. I think this falls in a lot of times with the specific person thing too. People are like, I want this person, or I want my ex because there's nothing better, and it was pretty good, and you don't believe there's something better. But sometimes doing this whole process of self-love and self-elevation and becoming an elevated individual, when it comes down to it, because of that, the byproduct of that is you no longer get that specific thing. That gets removed, and a better option comes. Now, not to say if you don't persist, that same one could come back. Could be crazy. That car could have been sold to your neighbor and you don't even know it, and then next thing you know, he's like, oh, you really wanted this? Oh, here, well, I'll let it go for whatever. Or I'll hold it, and then when you get the money, you could pay me. And it could work out better that way. But that's me trying to figure out the how. I will play with multiple hows when I'm manifesting something because I'd rather be thinking about positive ways of how it could work out versus negative what ifs. So it's almost like Neville saying, wouldn't it be wonderful if? I switch my thinking and my self-talk from what if this happens to wouldn't it be wonderful if this happens? And I start giving a bunch of hows. God and the universe are going to play it out whatever way he wants. But in the meantime, you can create stuff that makes you feel good and at ease in the moment. And it's like playing with different scripts. Remember, we're the screenwriters of our own life. We're playing around with these different scripts of, oh, how this is going to work out, blah, blah, blah. Well, that would be a good movie. Oh, that's also a good take. And at the end, the final person who's doing the editing is God. God's going to edit it and cut it up the way the movie should be. And you're going to say, wow, I could have never thought about that. I never even knew we filmed that scene. That was a great scene. So, and then in the process of manifesting this, instead of just going general now, I would say every night as you go to sleep, you're thankful for it and you have an end scene. So as you go to bed, thank you that I have this car. What does it feel like? What does the seat look like? What's the dashboard look like? What is the texture of the steering wheel? How does that feel? You know what the 90s cars feel. Almost all cars have the same, got that same feeling of a steering wheel. Maybe even look up pictures of the interior of that car. And it's like, okay, you see the dashboard. Who's riding with you? I know this guy has a girlfriend, so it's like your girlfriend's riding shotgun. How does it feel? You got all this space. Are all your friends with you? Are your family with you? Where are you going? What's in this car? Where are you going? How does it feel to be driving it? It's got those big monster truck tires. What does that feel like? So every night as you're falling asleep and you're on that wakeful dreaming part, it's like you're putting yourself in that feeling of like, oh, you're falling asleep driving this truck every night. Now, you don't want to fall asleep driving it in real life, but fall asleep in the actual bed thinking you're driving the truck. And in the morning, be grateful that you have it. And then I know in the morning you got to go to work, and it's probably you're still taking an Uber or a bus or a train or whatever, but you're thankful you have that. And it's just like if you got to tell yourself a story on the train or in the Uber or whatever, like, man, it sucks my car's in the shop today, but thank God I get it back tonight. And then the next day you still might not have the car, and you just tell yourself that same story. This is the persistence. This is the part that kind of sucks. This is the part where it's like maybe a week or 2 or 3 go by and you're still doing this. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing? This shit ain't real. I'm questioning it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not. And then you're like, I'm not even doing the techniques anymore. And then a couple days later, you get a call or you go online and you just happen to see it's still there and the price dropped even more. And you happen to have that amount of money and you say, boom, I want to buy it. And you got it. And maybe he drops the price even more and you go to pick it up. But this is all like the ways that things could unfold. I'm not saying how it's going to unfold. It might unfold completely different and not even the thing I mentioned happens. But this is how you regulate your mind through these processes. This is what I did. And I think the whole thing with the specific person is very important because that is the hardest, because it is a seemingly changeable variable, because we always have this thing, oh, you never know how this person's going to react. Oh, I got to walk on eggshells. No, when you assume they're going to act a certain way and then you show up and they don't, instead of fully freaking out, it's like just do whatever you need to do to navigate that conversation calmly, peacefully, whatever. Get through that and then go back and revise it. And then you go back to visualizing that person how you want them to be. Once you've manifested through that situation, everything else is a piece of cake. Now, there might be certain things that trip you up, like how is it the blue squishy stress ball is one that has always eluded me. It's always been a very difficult one because the longer it stays away, the more I add to that story. That was so hard, but you get an SP back in 10 weeks, but then this thing took years, and it's a fucking blue squishy stress ball, and then there's SP. But then you want a certain car, and then within a month or two, it was probably about 2 months, then about 2 months that arrives, and there's an option for it, but now you no longer want it. You wanted the SP, that's there. You wanted to open your own gym, and 10 years later, after forgetting about it, you wind up following your highest passion, going out to California, and then options to open a gym arise, and a plan on how to do it arises, where that is now a possibility. So that's why I say anything is possible. And it's like, how bad do you want this? I know when it came to my specific person, when I wanted to manifest her back, there was a time where I prayed and I said, I don't care how long it takes. This is the person I want. And it took longer that time. It did take, I think that was the time where it took about 10 weeks and it sucked and I waited and I had to realize and come to terms like, okay, even though she had been back with her ex and it's like, that's the person she chose and I feel not chosen, I had to choose myself and show up for myself and say, that's what I want. And I trust that it's going to unfold. And that desired reality is the timeline that I had shifted to mentally. It didn't take long for me to physically shift in and all the pieces they'll unfold the way they wanted or the way they needed to. I've been manifesting about getting dominated in the tub. No luck yet. Manifesting Mandrew. I love that. No luck at, well, there's remote seduction. If you're doing remote seduction, that stuff will play out. There was one that took a while for that certain scene to play out. That one played out last night. It was pretty nice. That was a good way to start my week. But that certain thing where it's like, you know, when you get into your whole moods and stuff, it's just kind of like quick and whatever the passion takes you. But for some reason, it's like, man, no, I finished already. God damn it, I finished. God damn it. I didn't get to do the move I wanted, or we didn't wind up where I wanted. Instead of trying to set yourself up for those certain situations, just trust that they're going to. And then maybe if you're satisfying yourself in those quiet times of beating your meat, you visualize that particular scene. That's a visualization and a SAT session in itself. A SAT session with an explosive end. So if you want to try that, do that as well. But don't focus on the part that says no luck. Dominated in the tub sounds pretty cool, though. Sure does. I've been taking SP off the pedestal big time this week. And he's wigging out thinking I'm mad. There you go. Girl, I'm keeping the new one off the pedestal, working out better. There you go, Courtney. Started waking up at 5 a.m. to pray and meditate. I've noticed I'm more at peace during the day. Eric, that is very important. That's actually something my mentor taught me now. We never had exclusive like chats because he passed away fairly early and when I was young too. We had never really got to discuss that much. One of his advices to me was wake up early in the morning, have a glass of water by your bed. And it was from a book called The Miracle Morning, I believe. I mean, he gave me this book. He bought me these books about like how to like start your day. My days always felt better when I wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning, drink a cup of water, do gratitude, feel like my life is in order, feel like everything I want is already here, give gratitude for the stuff that I really do have, then go hit the gym and how I'm getting my body moving and I'm hydrated. I feel good. Then after that, you get a meal. Then you start your work day. Now your work day is your bitch. Everything else comes second because you already did the hardest thing. Waking up early is hardest shit to do. You've conquered that. If you make your bed too, I don't always do that. I'm not going to lie. I don't like doing that. I'd rather just meditate and be like, okay, yeah, I'll get back to that. But if you make your bed too, you do all these cliches that they talk about. There's a reason they're a cliche and there's a reason this stuff's around so long. It keeps your mind in order. So before the day has even started, you've woken up, you've hydrated, you've ate properly, you're grateful, you've prayed, you've seen your future, you know it's going to happen. and you've taken action, which was go to the gym or go for a run or a bike, or sometime back in those days I would write. I would sometimes, if I didn't feel like going to the gym, I would start writing a script or something like that. I was doing things to get myself ahead. Then by the time I went to work, it's like, all right, I've already conquered the day with the stuff I care about. I'll go through this, whatever. You're good through the day. And now when you get home, you're not really tired. You're actually more energized because you've already done it, and you've got more time to do more things and have more fun and live life and stay more positive. So waking up early is a good hack to manifestation too. And then use especially when you're heartbroken too and you can't sleep at night, try to force yourself to sleep a little bit, but let yourself wake up early. If you wake up early, it's like, okay, now you're using pain and heartbreak as momentum to get you to where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? So you're changing the energy. You're transmuting that energy from something negative and painful to something positive and constructive and building for yourself. I do vitamins, water, meditation for the first 30 minutes. Those days run smoothly. There you go, Courtney. See, another person vouching for it. Do you believe in thought transmission? I'm very new to all of this, and I found your channel. Well, welcome here, EA. I'm glad you found the channel. Hopefully you find a lot of stuff valuable for it. I do have a video on thought transmission. Funny enough, when you started, if you welcome into the... Sorry, I think I had a stroke. What's it called? If you were here at the beginning of this video, Courtney mentioned something about, I thought about you today, but I didn't text you. Last week, she thought about texting me. And for the 2 weeks before that, she texted me because my live stream timing is off. She goes, are you going to be going live? Can you text me before you go live? I mean, Courtney's a client who I've worked with a lot, so she has my phone number. So I said, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'll shoot you a text before I go live. And then I would. And then the next day she didn't send me, it was like the following Monday, she didn't send me a text, but I'm like, I wonder if she's going to text me today. I'm like, I got to remember to text her. And I can't remember, did I text you? Oh, yeah, I did text you right before I went live because I went live in the afternoon. I'm like, hey, by the way, if you're thinking about it, I'm going live. And she was thinking about it. Then today, Ink said she thought about texting me earlier today, but stuff kept getting in the way. I had thought about Ink this morning too. I'm like, I got to reach out to her because I haven't really reached out. Ink and Courtney are both people who've worked with me extensively, and they both have my number. Ink's been here since day one, the one who convinced me to have the channel. So she has my number as well. But it's just funny enough, like they thought about me and I thought about them. It's like, so what came first, the chicken or the egg? And here's the thing, you have to realize that, and I do have videos on thought transmission too. If you sift through the channel, I can't tell you when I made them. It'll take me forever to go through. I think there's like 350 videos or something on the channel, and I'm making more today, but I will do it. Actually, you know what? Since I'm recording videos today, I'll do one for you, EA. Thought transmission. Yeah, I'll do one for you today about thought transmission. But there is one on the channel, maybe two on the channel if you want to go through and take a look. But it's very real, and the more you convince yourself that whatever's happening behind the scenes is really happening, it is. I mean, there was times where I pictured my SP is not the crying type and stuff like that. And I thought, I'm like, she's probably crying that she messed up and this and that in the background and stuff like that. With her friend, I met her friend one time. I had been in her house one time. I pictured the scene where apparently they hung out a lot. I didn't know that they did. I just created that in my head. They hang out there and she's crying to her best friend about, I really messed up. I lost Nick and blah, blah, blah. And then her best friend had told me when I ran into her best friend, who was actually part of the bridge that brought us back together, she said, she was crying and she misses you and blah, blah, blah. And she reminisces on all the good times. And the exact memory, out of all the memories we had at the time, the exact memory I was thinking about repeatedly for the 2 weeks. Because if you can't visualize a future event, sometimes going back to a happy event in the past is just as powerful, because they're going to, and you're trusting that they're going to be feeling those feelings too. She goes, keeps talking about the time you guys went to the beach, and we had only gone to the beach once together. And I kept thinking about that because it was something I could feel the heat. I could feel the sand on my toes. I could see what she was wearing. I could feel like the sweat on myself. And you kind of put yourself in that state, because remember, the past doesn't exist. It's happened already. But when you're dwelling on something painful in the past, or angry memory, or you're thinking about something that you're going to say to someone, if this guy says this, I'm going to say that, and now you're thinking of a future event, instead of those two negative things, something traumatic in the past or something that you're anxious about in the future, pay attention to your body when you're in those states. Your fist clenches, your teeth clench, your muscles get tight, you're stressed, you're feeling your body is having a physical response to something that happened a long time ago, or something that has yet to happen, which we don't know if it will ever happen. But the more you focus on it, the more chances it will, which is that's what manifestation is. So you're putting yourself, the future hasn't happened, the past has already happened. The only moment that actually exists is now, 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 now. Even if I want to go back to how I felt at the beginning of this live stream, it's like that is over. The only thing I have now is now. And how it's going to be received and whatever doesn't matter to me. I only have this moment, how I'm going to feel during it. And, if you want to go through a more positive and fun example of that, was fantasize about an old memory with SP for manifesting Mandrill. Manifest about an old remote seduction thing. That's remote seduction. Fantasize about an old sexual event with that person. See if the pee-pee don't get hard. You're going to turn yourself on. And it's like, how am I turned on from something that's happened a long time ago? Or an event that has yet to happen that you're fantasizing about. How are you turned on by something that's not there? That's the power of like going back and trusting that, hey, remote seduction works, thought transmission works, all that stuff. Let's see what else. But yes, I believe in remote for manifesting Mandrill. I'll do another remote seduction one. I've done those videos before. Those are always funny. And I'll do one for you, EA, about thought transmission. Check your messages, Nick, if you can. I did see you texting me. I'll take a look. This is a success story. Oh my God. Ink just sent me the blue squishy stress ball that has been, if you're on the Discord, I don't know if I actually found one in the Discord. I didn't. I found something close to the blue one in it where I was able to call it that. But it took me being stressed by that one memory right now to mention it. Then Ink, boom, throws it up. Here, I'll pull up the message right here so you guys can see it. So here's the proof. And I tell you, it comes in weird ways. Ink has the blue squishy stress ball with her. That's something that I wanted to feel and see in my hand. There, boom. And that's what I would picture, squeezing it like that. Now, it's not my hand, but I would see it and feel it. And it's like, okay, blue squishy stress ball. Never seen one at the store. Never came up in any of my shopping carts. Never showed up. But a weird, like a little blue rubber racquetball shows up all the time at work. Or different little blue racquetballs will show up at work. Or that's the ones we used to get for the dog, and I would find those at the house. And it's like, it's crazy. Everywhere I would go, that was the one I couldn't find. Other color stress balls, orange, green, yellow, all those color stress balls, everything. Never the blue one. Blue's my favorite color. And I saw that because I couldn't never do the ladder experiment because I climb ladders all the time at work. So it doesn't make sense. And it took that right now, me using it as an example for Ink to send it through. And I never expected that. Never expected, because the whole thing I thought, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I found the ball now? Like, it would be interesting. That would be a good success story. So thank you, Ink. You just added. And I was like, what is she texting me for right now? I saw the picture, but I didn't see what it was. Nick, what's your thoughts on the list method? Manifest multiple desires at once. Do I have the book here? Yes, I do. I believe in the list method. I have used it. I call it a mini manifestation list because that's how it's taught to me. The internet has now changed its name to list method. It is essentially a list of things that you want, that you will get. I'm pretty sure this is the book I wrote down a recent one in. And if it is, what is this? List method works in short. Let me see if I have a list in this one. This one's more like a journal. Personal goals is kind of like it. These were more, mini manifestations. Okay, yeah, I got one here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. I got 13 things on. Oh, hold on. This is not from even, I would say this is probably from last fall. Almost a year ago, this one is from. This one is almost from last year. Out of the 13 things, 11 of them are done. Yeah, 11 out of 13. So I'm actually manifesting another one. So yeah, I believe the list method works because you're not putting too much attention on one particular thing. You're not stressing yourself out too much over whatever's important because you've removed attention to everything. And when I write it, I say everything I write down comes true. The ones that I see that are still not done were ones I really didn't believe would happen, and I was trying for it. So it's a good way of detachment. It's a good way to use detachment because you've already done it and you trust that it's already done. Thought transmission 100% real. I use it all day. There you go, Courtney. Sometimes it's easier to hear, visualize 1 or 2 sentence conversation than it is to manifest a quicker, it's quicker and less resistance. Yes, exactly. It's just that one particular thing is good. Let's see. Divine Fempress. There you are. The most famous. I see you in. Actually, I haven't watched Naya in a while. I haven't really watched too much manifesting content in a while, but I remember you were on there and you're always on here. A big head. That's been people always said that about my head being big. Remote seduction works like a charm. Yes, it does. Tell them what to say and how to say it. Yeah, that could work too. Still can't Discord. Let me see. I was working on making the website today, Courtney, and then I seen the Discord. Thank you to everyone who has been part of the Discord. I will admit that I was not very active on it in the time of the competition prep, and everyone who was on it had left. So there's nobody on it right now. So just a heads up for anyone joining it. Like I said, I'm always real open and honest, but I'm going back to writing on it now, and I'm starting the website. The website will have a blog, and then there will be stuff with the Discord again. The Discord is easy because I got it on my phone. I could use it, but Discord frustrates me because there's people who want to be on the Discord, I think, and they're not. But I'm going to have to sit down with Gary. Me and Gary have been meaning to get back together. Gary, if you're still here, we'll set that up. And you know what, Courtney, I'm just going to add you in there because I think I can do it without it because you already pay for the membership on here. So I'm just going to add you onto the thing. I did that with my monthly client too. No sense to keep paying for other stuff. I'm mailing it. Well, thank you, Ink. It's going to go up. I ordered some shelves. So we're going to find a new way to put this. And I'm thinking to move the computer around because I'm thinking to set this up like the Bat Cave. Put a big TV here, put the gaming computer there. Because I was thinking about doing some game streaming. Not really a gamer, but I like to play video games from here and there. I've been on a little kick lately. We could do Mystic Games or whatever. I got a Discord, so we could go. Not fuck Discord, but what's the one? Twitch. I got that. But I'll put my medal up there on these little shelves, and I'll put the blue balls from Inked on there. Let's see. Let me share this live out to someone I know is texting me. Guess who it is? Where is the live? Then I'm gonna get back to these comments. We actually got a good audience going. I love this. We're pumping today. We got 13 people viewing. We got a good thing. We were up to 20 viewers at one point. Let's see. Share. Copy the link. Well, thank you for sending the blue balls, Inked. Okay. Man, this reminds me of the early days. We're going up in viewers when I'm not paying attention. But yeah, see, I got a whole bunch of things I'm looking to do too. Something about if you're someone with anxiety too, I guess anxiety or overthinking, I wouldn't call myself ADHD, but maybe I am because I think I'm all over here, there. I get so many ideas. I mean, you guys see me with the fucking spider last time. I'm focused on the spider and paying attention to a million different things at once. But if your mind works like that, you know, especially in terms of manifesting, Neville said only focus on one particular thing you're manifesting. I would say if you do a list method, you could do a list method, and it's funny. Every time I had a list method, there was one particular goal on my mind. While I'm focused on that and just trusting that everything I wrote down on that mini manifestation list, everything I wrote down on there, I trusted that's already done. I don't have to worry about that shit. And I would focus on the one thing that I felt was hard and harder to impress, because all the stuff I believed, but the two things I was struggling to believe, those things I never did extensive work on or change my beliefs on, which was a shift that I didn't think could change. Which, I mean, I've changed my shift and I got promoted and I got new jobs and stuff like that. But it's like, oh, how would this one happen? That shift doesn't even exist at my job. And I just had a limiting belief on that. And then to make a, what's it called? I don't remember what I needed or wanted that amount of money for. $17,000 is a weird amount of money. I had made close to that last year. Not close to it, a third of it last year, maybe, from my business. Yeah, I don't know. Those are the only two, but I didn't feel like that stuff was possible. But now it's like, okay, there's some stuff to work on. Now, so when your mini manifestation list comes in, it's like you build confidence off that mini manifestation list. Oh, that happened. I wasn't even trying. That makes the main goal easier. And then that kind of gives you a little push when you, like, I don't even read it. I write it down. I leave it alone. And then if it comes up here or I just happen to see the notebook sitting around, I'll pick it up. I also sometimes put a journal in there. So I journal the stuff that happened and the stuff that didn't happen as if it did, blah, blah, blah. And I go and take a look. And then next thing you know, it's like all that stuff happened. I got the boost of confidence and the thing I want pushes through. So there's the benefit to it. I'm lisping with the list method. List method is great. I use a planner and just add my manifestations right there. Like, of course, these will happen. Yeah, Courtney, I do the same thing too. I also have a planner, which is currently MIA because I live out of the back seat of my car sometimes because I go all over the place from here to work, to Lily's house, to my parents' house, to my friends' houses. It's like I'm always in the car and on the move. So sometimes the planner gets misplaced and the headphones and a lot of other things get misplaced along the way. And then when I want to find them, I say, wouldn't it be great if I had that? And then it will be gone for a day or two and then appears in a weird way. Yepper, I am. She big head means a lot of brains, manifestation, super. Thank you. I love it. I feel like I'm asking too many questions, so I don't take any actual actions, correct? I just use techniques until she reaches out. Yeah. I will say this. I never tell anyone what to do because there's inspired action, and I cannot tell you the inspired action. You will know it when the time comes across. And that's the point of these lives, is to ask your questions here. The live is mainly for people who can't afford coaching. I start out with I got some notes on it, or I kind of have a little jumping off point, but I kind of leave these open-ended to, if you need coaching and you can't afford it, boom, okay, throw the shit here. We'll talk about it. People who've encountered it in the chat will add along with it. And, that's what this is. It's a little positivity powwow, So that's what we got going on here. Ask whatever questions you need. Sometimes out of the 6 times that I've had this SP thing happen, 2 times it was circumstances brought us back together. 2 times she reached out first. 2 times I reached out first. The times I had reached out first, it was a very hard line to tell. Am I reaching out for desperation and feeling I need to do more? Or is it really divinely guided? So when I went through the last time where we've been official now since then, or when we got on the road to being official, and then a couple months later we did, we just started talking again at that point because I didn't know if you were watching the channel back then, what you weren't, but at that time I was debating, do I want this? Do I not want this? And then what was the same? And then here's why the world's a mirror. I was thinking that she was feeling that. And then when I was like, okay, I want this relationship, it didn't happen right away because then she was still there's sometimes that lag theory. And then we wound up getting into we were drinking, and out of nowhere, we had both not drank enough to be drunk, but we both felt drunk. We both can confirm that. We both felt drunk off not enough to feel drunk. And it randomly sparked a misunderstanding that led to her wanting to leave, but then also not. And then she's like, if I walk out, and I'm like, it was kind of like, I'm going to walk out and never come back. And I'm like, I'm sad that if you walk out, I'm not going to care. And we talked about this in one of our lives together. But I'm like, but do you want to be with me? And she's like, yeah. And then I'm like, and I want to be with you. And she's like, and I want you to be. And it's kind of like this whole thing just started out really horrible, but it took that thing to make it actually official. So that's why, and then my whole thought process during that time was, how is this working out in my favor? And it wound up actually, it was the least resistance, and I was cool with, if you walk out the door, you walk out the door. And it hurt to say, but I was actually cool with it. And she was cool with it, but at the same time, there was the least resistance. We didn't need to try anything. It was just something that was going to happen because I relaxed and let it flow in. So yeah, when I reached out, it was just kind of like I had this nagging feeling that, hey, you got to say something. I'm like, now if it really matters, I could say it later, or like an opportunity will arise. And then the next day I had this feeling. I'm like, it doesn't feel like desperation. It just feels like she actually needs to talk to me. But I'm like, nah, she's too prideful. She won't talk to me anyway, blah, blah, blah. I had all these thoughts about, like, if I still feel it tomorrow, I will. And then I was forgetting. I got busy and I was doing my goals. I was working out, all this stuff. The next day, it was like even more overwhelming. I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm being pushed to talk to her. And by the fourth day, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to write this long message about, hey, you know what? I hope you're doing well. I got a sense that you're not, and blah, blah, blah. And she played it off that she's doing fine. I'm like, it's fucking stupid to reach out, but you know what? Whatever. But then she kept talking to me. And then I'm like, okay, now I can kind of build a story off this. And it's kind of what I want. And I'm not that resisting it that much because I'm already content with being where I am. It's one thing is like almost there's a power to accepting where you are, but not being attached to it. You know, like same thing you would do with a goal. Like, okay, my body is this way right now. I want it to look like this. And every day I go to the gym, I'm making progress, but it's just like a feeling. And you look in the mirror and you don't see it, or you step on the scale, you don't see it yet, but you still keep going anyway. And you're not, you know that all you can do is give your best there. Just like you could do your best in a sat session or a meditation or whatever. That's all you can do is do your best there. And then you will get the right feeling. The more relaxed you are and at ease and with flow, the more things like they reveal where it's like, okay, let me put it, I guess, the more you're in a flow state and a relaxed state, the more the decisions become obvious, the more it just feels like, oh, if I do this, I'm not worried about what's going to happen, and it happens. There's no rules to it at the end of the day. Knowing that you can't fuck this up and it's always working out in your favor is the most important things to remember. I'll text you later about the website and Discord. I don't want to take you away from the live. No, I already wrote it down, Courtney, though. I will, because, I mean, you pay for the, what do you call it? What is this? The monthly, whatever, the YouTube membership. So I'm just going to add you on there. Divine Femper says, EA, relax. It works. Just do it. It feels good. Exactly. Oh, I get shit tons of monitors. I got shit tons of monitors I could send you, and you could make a gaming wall. That would be pretty crazy. That would really be the Batman wall of the computer. It was funny, too. I'm like, it would be nice to get a nice, I was like, a 65-inch TV would look good here. I'm like, wouldn't a curved one look kind of cool? I forgot about it. My friend texted me, he goes, I got 2 TVs. You want them? And I was like, what the fuck? And then, like, I forgot about them. And I'm like, okay, once the thing is prepared, I'll be ready to grab them. And once I get that, I don't even have the computer here that I want to hook up to it. It's still not at this house. But when I grab that, then we'll set it up. But then, well, I guess still got to get the other TV from the guy. Be worry-free. She will contact you. Yep. It's a full moon. Good, sassy conversations. Many questions come from fear. It doesn't work. It won't work. It will work. It must work. Yeah, there you go. It must work. The law is defined like gravity. Yep. That's funny. I've been jokingly calling myself Miss Blue Balls. Well, remember, don't joke too much, because the more you joke about it, the more. That's what's got me nervous to go back to comedy, because all the self-deprecating jokes. That's why I said, Ink, no more ghosted woman. You got to be very careful with when you're joking about, negative self-deprecating jokes, because they will play out sometimes. I swear to Bob, this Mystic tank top has saved my booty so much this summer. It's so hot. Wearing anything else, I still want. I don't even have my own merch. I gotta order that tank top. I'm glad that you like it. I gotta post you in the Discord or up on the community page here with that, because I didn't even buy that one. I want to buy the blue one. I think you bought the black one. It's funny. It's my own merch site because it's drop shipping though through the thing. I gotta buy it myself. I reached out to SP this weekend. and got ghosted. The next day, I felt better though, like I got it off my chest. See, Eric, you got to take it as a positive. It's like sometimes when you're reaching out, why are you reaching out? When you ask yourself, why am I reaching out? What am I expecting to get from this? And where did you picture the conversation going? So many times when I would do that too, it's like, what was the difference between the time I reached out and I really wanted to and the time where I was laid back? The time I was laid back was I was resisting texting and I didn't care what the response was. And I was cool, calm, and collected, and it played out. For you, it's like, and every time I felt like a need, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to hear? I didn't know what I wanted to hear. I just knew I wanted to talk. That's where your inner conversation comes in. SP has made plans with me every weekend for the last couple of weeks and not followed through. What might be my resistance? How can I change that? Well, I'm just going to say Viv because you got all the numbers and stuff in your name. Well, Viv, I would say this. Maybe the first time was just a fluke or whatever, or maybe you didn't fully have belief in the fact that it was going to happen, right? You might not have believed it was going to happen because maybe there was a breakup. I don't know your circumstances or whatever. But maybe you believed that there was some kind of resistance to it already. Then once you've seen it, the problem is once you've seen something negative in the real world, the human mind is programmed to protect you. So it's going to figure that the same thing is going to happen. And whether you're, consciously going against it or not, there's still sometimes that deep underlying belief that it's still not going to happen. And you might be surprised. No, I was doing stats. I was doing this. Blah, blah, blah. I was doing everything I was supposed to do. Why did it still happen? Because you're putting a lot of effort into it. It's like, I would say at that point, take a little break. Don't worry about it if you hang out or not. Maybe don't make the plans and assume that, hey, SP is going to be the one reaching out, making plans. Assume that this is going to, just find a way where it's like, okay, this is going to work out in my favor because it is always working out in your favor. How does this, start asking yourself, how does this work out in your favor? Wow, that means that he just wants to make it up even more when he comes back around. That means that, he's planning something even bigger and it sucks and he's going to be even more passionate when he shows. You got to just keep telling yourself those things. And it's like, and I don't need to reach out because I'm happy. And then throughout the time having inner conversations about, I can't wait to see you and blah, blah, blah. All these different things that make you feel good. And then start picturing the date. What does that date look like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? Where are you at? What does the food taste like? Going into all those little things. And then guess what? You get to the date. And then I'm not saying this to be negative, but I'm preparing you in case something happens and that underlying thought is still there. You get there maybe and then it doesn't happen. Okay, cool. Whatever, you persist. And then at the end of that night, wow, I'm so thankful that happened. Maybe do a remote seduction, hit a visualization before bed. You go to sleep in an end scene, boom, you're good. 3 more days till I can change the name. There you go. The Enchanted Woman. No, I don't know. Enchanted doesn't really go with ghost stuff. I think there was 110 here the other day. What the fuck? I've been Winnie the Pooh bear, giant shirt, no pants. I know I'm doing way better with the attachment because when I see old SP's name or photo on my phone, I just smile. I used to have a panic attack. Yeah, you start to get to that point. Sometimes you have to go through that dark night of the soul before you get there and you realize hey, you can relax and just say, hey, this is all that name is in my phone because that is my SP. That name is there because of this. Oh, he's always texting me. Because I remember it used to be painful. You scroll through and you see your SP's name in the phone and say, oh, man, I don't want to see that. And you feel bad and you don't want to see it because it reminds you. Because when you see it, you think breakup. Now you see it and think, that's my person. And just switching the thoughts in that little bit, that's the mindset shift that gets you believing, that switches you on that track. I knew SP has the same name. There you go. Well, put it like that and just say oh, that's the SP that you're thinking of. You associate that name with that. Man, this has been a very strong, productive live stream today. I think we've had a lot of people. That hour and 13 minutes has flown by. Wait, 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 33 seconds. Look at that. 333, if the threes mean anything to you. Remember, numbers don't mean nothing unless you give them a meaning. What other questions we got, guys? I got a little bit of cigar left. I bought the nice cigars, too, for this. What videos do you want to see this week? I've already got thought transmission. We'll do remote seduction. I literally manifested the same dude, just younger and better. Exactly. And if you still don't want that, Then you want your regular SP, just be thankful for what you have and trust that every day in every way he misses me more and more. He's coming back to me more and more, and that's what you really want, and that's what you're going to get. And then being happy with what it is that you have, because it's like when you manifest that new person's there enjoying that, then eventually you're going to be faced with a choice. What choice do you make? Because they're both going to be there at the same time, and you're going to be able to choose which one you want. Sorry, I was taking care of my little ones. They came back from their dads with staff. Oh, man. Well, we're going to wish them the best and manifest their perfect health. That's like something I go to the hospital for, right? Video idea, Nick, live guided group meditation. Oh, we could do that. Let me write that down. That one I'm about to set up where we get a. That's a good idea, Eric. I like that. We're gonna have to set up like a time so we all know to be there at a certain time. Everybody gets on. We'll give it about 5 minutes where everyone gets in. 5-10 minutes, maybe 15, because you know I like the bullshit. We let everybody get in. We get a good group of people going, and we do that. That's originally what that seminar was supposed to be. It was going to be like a meditation, stuff like that. I'm thinking maybe by the end of the year, I try to do another seminar, which it wound up actually working out because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to run the seminar. And I had an idea for how I was going to do it. I wrote it all out. But then I'm like, as successful as the channel was, I started doubting myself as a coach too. And that was the time I was in contest prep too. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do it. And it wound up actually being a very important party I had to be at that same day, the night before and the day after I had a party. I'm like, it would have been horrible because I would have been dead tired and it would have been an ass thing for everybody. And I was going to cancel it too. But luckily, no one had signed up. So we'll set it up. And I think, what's it called? I just got a message. They put some ladies manifestation stuff under your live stream. Thumbs down. Well, that's okay. Everybody knows this is the best manifesting channel. What else? Live guided meditation. Yeah. So anyway, wound up working out, but I will plan to do another seminar, and we'll include that there. But we'll do a regular live stream for a group meditation. I think that's pretty good. I do believe there's power in the numbers to the stuff too. But if you don't believe it, then you don't have to believe it. You know, everything is you write the rules. Whoever would find value in it, you can do that. And I leave it up too, so anyone can go back to it. I'll start scripting that one out. That one I have to be prepared for. I was working on my hair, and after a week, random people started commenting on how thick my hair looked. See, because you expected that, I bet. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I've been affirming, medicating, and bandages for 2 days straight, but they are getting better. There we go. Well, that's good to hear, Inked. I would say, that's the one thing I do believe in. Like, you could heal yourself through medical situations and stuff like that, outside of the doctor's possibilities and stuff like that. But at the same time, I will always say, you go to the doctors and stuff like that too. It's almost like when the people get very religious stuff, it's like, yeah, your faith is strong and it will get you through anything. But sometimes the going to the doctor is actually a thing you need. There's times where even I will go. I don't like going to the doctor, and I rarely go. But there were times where it's like, okay, tearing the pec was kind of like, oh yeah, I'll actually go for that because this doesn't look good. But sometimes that's part of the bridge. It's almost like that one story. I don't know where it's from, but I've heard the story before. It's like there was like a flood or something, and then like the guy was sitting in the flooded zone, and he was praying to God. He's like, God, send me help. And then a guy comes on a boat and he goes, hey, I'm here to help you. He goes, no, God's going to save me. And he wouldn't get on the boat. Okay. Then a helicopter comes and they're like, hey, get on. And then he's like, no, God's coming to save me. And then it was like there was a couple other things that had come. He's like, no, God's coming to save me. Then he dies and goes to heaven. And he's like, God, why didn't you save me? He's like, I sent you a boat, a helicopter, this and that. He goes, and you said no to all of them. So I think that's where it comes in with doctors and stuff like that too. Is like those are the things that have been provided for you to be your bridge. So always have an open mind to whatever. I always wondered how you get that. My aunt had that years ago. That staff. It's not good. But luckily the kids are already healed. Video suggestion for changing your body and looks through manifestation. That's a good one too. Because I've done that too. height, body changes, certain look, having your body look a certain way that the genetics are not really meant to. I think that would be a good one where I could have like Tom Platts comment on it too, or maybe take a clip from him and bring that on there. That would be cool. Like if that would be something we would discuss during the collab that we do when that happens. What do you call it? And then also PP size too. My mom was watching this. Mom, mute the TV. Those were all things that have been manifested, though. Bodies do change. The power of the mind, if it could change things on the outside, it could change things on the inside. How long have I been on the law of assumption journey? I'm 27 now. I started when I was 16, 11 years. But I started with the movie The Secret. Went through like a period of just positive thinking, then just thinking that, okay, you could just take whatever bullshit comes because it's okay. It's kind of what you want, but not really what you want. And then the whole thing with having a specific person led me that the stuff with Neville, assumption, whatever you assume to be true will be true. That is going to be what do you call it? Whatever you assume to be true is going to be true. Like you could have exactly whatever you ask for. That was about 4 years ago, finding out about that and then using it for little things. Then the SP thing was the big thing, and now I'm just using that everywhere. Yep, help each other manifest as a group. Yep, and like I say, we're all in this together. Yeah, body change is good. I've been affirming for my ideal and perfect body, not anyone else's. There you go. Yeah, it's exactly always whatever you want. And I've seen it in other people too. It's like sometimes you're not even doing the most intense workouts or things like that, but your body is changing. And it's like, how is that? It doesn't make any sense. Or you're not eating the right way. I've been there. I'm not eating the right way, but I'm still making the progress. And it works. I thought my hair looked dull and thin and just affirmed that it was thick and full. And the following week, randos were asking me about my thick hair. There you go. She has the same thing. Remember when I had my hair all crazy and stuff? And I said that was on the mini manifestation list. I get compliments on my hair all the time, and I knew it looked like shit. And I purposely left it looking like shit. And I got a bunch of compliments on it. And then when I cut it, people were asking why I did that. Courtney, I thought I looked horrible, but I received so many compliments on it everywhere I go. Like, why? There you go. Hi, Mom. Your hair was fucking gold. Yes, I need to have a wedding. I need to have a wedding to go to this year, a year and a half from now. Is that how long that wedding is? A year and a half from now? Oh, we got plenty of time. We'll be working out together. I'll train you. Thanks. I don't get it, but I remember affirming people liked it. There you go. See, that's the only thing that matters because that's what the reflection of the mirror is. Our new SP and I have been nighttime prayer every night, and it's awesome. Group manifesting works. Yeah, well, I mean, even in the Bible it says, where two or more are gathered in my name. That's when I don't remember the exact. You got busted me out. I busted myself out. But yeah, but basically, even in the Bible, it talks about two or more are gathered in my name, meaning two or more people get manifesting over one goal. Makes it even easier. What's your manifesting routine? Okay, let me be real and honest because I am real and honest with you guys right now. I feel very stagnant, which is kind of a reason why I've been disappeared for a while because I'm not doing shit. It's sporadically being thankful in the morning, which I should be doing every day. That's slipping off my mental diet. Throughout the day, I get like upset in traffic, which I used to not do. I've been doing because I'm trying to do a little bit, not trying to. I'm working on the comedy stuff again. Self-deprecation kind of comes with that. That's bad. So if my mental diet was my physical diet, I would be like 300 pounds in a fat slob right now. But my usual, when I'm on point, when I'm dieted in like a bodybuilding competition of my mind, it is wake up, give gratitude for everything that I already have, slip into things I don't have, which this is like an underrated thing, which I always give to everybody that I coach. And that's why I pound this home all the time. That is very important. Throughout the day, whenever I see stuff I don't like, I'll start saying, because like this part is still there. That's why I'm not completely fucked up. I will say like, how is this working out in my favor? How is this working out in my favor? Then I'll start seeing how things work out in my favor. Right now, as a test, and here's my problem. Remember, what's the first rule of manifesting? Know exactly what you want. I'm saying money, right? I'm counting out hundreds. Some nights it's $500 and I fall asleep. But then I'm like, I want 15. But then do I not believe 15? But when you've done all this other shit, why don't you believe it? So it was almost like kind of a thing where it's like, what's going on in my own mind? So sometimes we get to that point, which I've noticed it's like it comes and goes. It's like once that's why you should always have a goal. That's why we have desires, because without desires and goals, we perish mentally and physically. We don't have anything to strive for. So right now, there's really, I mean, I'm happy and content in life. I got a place to live. Would I rather live somewhere else? Yeah, but is it enough to make me actually do techniques? Being honest, no. Would I want more money? Yeah, but am I broke and need money? No, not really. So I don't really have to try for it. And it's like there's something. I thought about the blue ball a few times. I visualized that before going to sleep. Boom, Ink just said that. She's mailing it to me. That's going to go right up on the shelf. That one's pretty cool. Haven't even written a mini manifestation list. So, Eric, thank you for that question, because it's a wake up call for me to get my ass back on my grind. But that's what I'll usually do: wake up with gratitude for what I have and what I don't have, knowing what I want, and then carrying that throughout the day with me. The only thing I'm really doing, and this is another thing I will do, is walking through the day as the person I want to be. So I go to work, and my job is building engineer. So somebody calls and you go up to a lawyer firm or something like that, or you go up to like architecture place, you show up in your button up and your tools and stuff like that. They're going to look at you a certain way. And I've experienced that. They're going to look and talk to you almost in a talking down, and you learn to expect that. I don't. It's like, it would go like, oh, do you know who I am outside of here? I'm a well-respected, I'm the muscular mystic manifesting. Like, oh, who do you think you're talking to? Instead of being cocky like that too, it's just, I walk like that. I don't say nothing to them. I don't change my tone. I don't do nothing, but I have that inner confidence, and I train myself to walk like that. Because when you're feeling down, you're slope like this, because there's physiology in this. Tony Robbins talks about it, and it's very true. So I will carry myself a certain way. I will think a certain way whenever, and in a way, and like one of my things is I'm very respected in the manifesting community. People who don't even know manifesting really. I have coached people through work, and it's like one guy winds up getting an even better job. But we use that through, he liked to complain a lot. So I'd be like, complain to me about the job you want. What's so great about the job? What's so bad about this job? What would it feel like if you had another job? Well, it would be like this and this and this. Dude got an amazing job. He's out of there. But we took that energy and used it, because complaining is powerful. But took it, moved it to somewhere else, and indirectly, accidentally, but through my direction of it, moved him to where he needed to be. And then boom, now he's got this amazing job, and I'm happy for him. For me, I'm happy where I'm at too. That's another thing. It's like, why are you manifesting out a job? It's like, I'm comfortable. I don't do jack shit really. So it's like, when you get to a comfortable place in life, that's why I'm trying to make myself a little uncomfortable. It's like, yeah, the gym would be nice. I've got an option to open the gym now and stuff. I've got things to look into. I'm not really, this is a lack of ambition point for me. So Eric, it's a good question. That's the thing, where a mini manifestation list will help. It will help give you some direction, give you something to work on. So you're not just sitting there like fucking off and just like, there's nothing wrong with it too. Cause sometimes I do like these periods, cause it's like, I'm just living and loving life and expecting nothing but the best. And I like the little bit of adventure. So that's a plus to it. That's why I haven't really changed. It's like that uncomfortable times of pain and darkness that causes the pressure. They say pressure builds diamonds. That's building it. You're putting yourself in that position where I have to manifest out of this, but without having to, because then having to is a need. There's so many contradictions in this shit. I have to get out of this means I need to get out because I'm not happy, and I need that, and that's over here. And you create this whole thing. But when you're laying back, it's like, I'd like this. There. This would be nice. Boom, there. Wouldn't it be wonderful? Oh, there it is. Things come quicker that way when you're more relaxed. So, yes, having a schedule to it is important too. And it's crazy too, because when I get a client, I'm building schedules for them, telling them, hey, here's what I do and this and that. Not what I do, but what I did for that particular thing. And then it's like, what are you doing? I'm just, I'm just living, just here. So, yeah, it's important to have that. But if you're happy where you are too, it's just no problem with coasting a little bit. Don't coast forever though, because then you won't ever change. You won't ever grow. And it's actually something. See, you brought that up too. It's been on my mind too a little bit. Like, I need to do something, but I don't feel a passion to go be pulled in a certain direction. And that's why today I forced myself a little bit into a passion too. I'm working on the website for this. And what is my affirmation? I'm not good with computers. I don't like working on computers. It's hard for me. Websites are hard to put together. And it was a quick, watch the tutorial. It should be 1, 2, 3. My assumptions of it. It's like, what the fuck is this? And now I'm getting double charged for that. I'm paying all these fees. It's like, what the fuck did I get into? I knew this was going to be expensive. I'm like, let me take a break. What can I control now? I know I'm good at doing lives. I know I'm good at making videos. I know I can go hit a good workout because I ate more and I drank more water from the morning workout. So I could go have a good workout. Book Camp Control now. Go live, make videos, go to the gym. Tomorrow, take another crack at that website. So knowing when to take action too is important, but following your passion, that's something I think we forget too. Bashar talks about that all the time too. What's it called? Following your highest passion. My highest passion led me to California to the competition, which led to all kinds of amazing opportunities and things I had been inadvertently and advertently manifesting. April 2026. Damn, that's a long ass time away, Mom. My SP is super Christian, so we call it prayer, but we all know it's Neville Voodoo. yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all the same thing. Kim, is that your mom? You raised an awesome kid. I love your live stream from the competition. Okay, I need train. Yeah, that is my mom though. Yeah, and I will train you. It's funny. So many people meet my mom and they all call her mom too. I'm thinking of naming my baby python Neville. That would be cool, but I'll never meet him. That's the one Neville I'll never meet. I hate snakes, Inc. I hate them. Call him Nevi. Oh, I thought that was a duck. It's a snake. Yeah. It's worse than the spider on my window. Here's how lazy my manifesting and life routine is. That fucking spider web is still there, and I hate spiders. I need to clean the office. I need to clean the bat cave. This is the bat cave, not the spider cave. The cockroach cave. I should do a stream as the cockroach. But that's, no, cockroach is a negative character because that's self-deprecating. I really like the name Boob Noodle, though. Boop. That's pretty funny. Danger Rope. Yeah, I love this how our streams always go, too. They always turn into, at the end, we're just shooting the shit, talking about naming a snake. He's too stupid and sweet to be named Danger Rope. Damn, it's burning me. I have a chihuahua like that, super sweet and dumb. All night long, I hear thunk when she falls. Oh my God. I would not be able to sleep in that house. I'd be waking up. What was that? Did it get out of the cage? Put it back in. I just manifested U.S. Postal Service package at 8:15 at night. It was supposed to be here today, but didn't show up by 4 and let it go. And just 5 minutes ago said, wouldn't it be nice? It just showed up. There, look at that. We're getting success stories in the chat. I love it. Nick, I'll be your website buddy. Sometimes I just need a friend to sit with you. Sometimes you need a friend to sit with you. Yeah, I know. That's the one thing you need. That's why I was like, well, I don't know if she's still here. My mom was on the phone with me. I'm like, just sit on the phone with me because I don't know what to do. Talking while I'm doing it. Okay, Indiana Jones. There we go. Indiana Jones. Let's switch back to the Midnight Mystic hat because it's similar to the Indiana Jones one. Josh hasn't been in the chat in a while. He was the one who created Midnight Mystic. I was thinking about the Mystic streams we used to do, though. There was like middle night. There was Mystic streams where I was doing dishes, while I was doing morning workouts. At the beginning of the channel, I was wild. I wasn't even organized, but I do kind of miss that. That's why I feel like I've gotten away from that too much. I don't know if you guys like that. I prefer that too. I was just kind of fucking around. And I do try to maintain that, but also trying to be professional for the newer people so they could see that it's not all fun and games. We're just out here manifesting in these streets. Whew. I'm not gonna lie, I've burned myself out here. Do you guys have any other questions before? Because otherwise, I'm gonna shut it down and have a coffee and start recording some videos. Take a little break, then record the videos. I missed the old lives in the video on the couch with the sheets behind you. Yeah, and the fucking spare bed because I got nowhere to put a fucking spare mattress for people. The spare bed sitting behind the couch where you can't even recline on the one side. I did think about doing that, but I would do those off the laptop, and for some reason the laptop, well, it's also like a 12-year-old Mac laptop, so we all know what the Apple products do. They shut down after a while. The new Mystic laptop, though, is stationed at SP's house. So she did bring it the other night. We were going to do something, but we got lazy. That's the identity I need to change, though. Get rid of my laziness. Because after the competition, I let loose on the diet and the workouts and the channel. I was like supposed to come back full force to the channel, stay on the diet, stay on all that stuff. I've let myself go a little bit. So now it's just time to, today was a wake-up call for me. The laundry pile, yeah, my laundry pile over there. I love those videos. I do like that, the casual videos. I've been wanting to do them too. I've been feeling like that's something we need, is more just casual videos again. Well, I manifested a TV. I was thinking for a while I needed one, but didn't want to spend the money. Well, there it is. Actually, I don't know if you told me that success story yet. SP. Oh, you did tell me that one because I remember you sent me a picture of SP hanging it for you. Gave me a newer one and much bigger. There you go. Can you make a video on trusting yourself and your manifesting abilities while persisting? Yeah. Got you, Josh. I'll do that. Like, there's many manifestation right there too. I said Josh is the one who thought about Midnight Mystic and stuff, but I'm thinking of a different Josh. And I pictured his name in the chat and his profile picture, but then I see the name Josh come up in the thing. So this different Josh, but still Josh shows up in the chat. And I help the family in need by giving them an older one. There you go. See, that's the thing. You always give back. That's the one thing I've always tried to do too, is give back. You don't have to. It's not one of the rules. I just like to do it. Things we always love newer and bigger. Oh boy. What's this chat going to turn into? Oh yeah, he fell asleep on my bed. Yeah, you sent me a picture of him. I thought Santa broke into your house and fell asleep. I said it's a little early for that. Is it a full moon? This has nothing to do with manifesting, but one of the characters on the Flex Entertainment channel is called Mothman, and he's based off the real cryptid. And I just found out his newest location has been Chicago for the past couple years, around the same amount of time that the Flex Entertainment's been producing it. So perhaps it was the channel the whole time that manifested him here. Going to email you soon after payday about the coaching if you're still doing the promo. Yeah, I got you, Josh. I remember. I was trying to remember who did that. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, who said they were going to email me? If you want, you can send me an email tonight, Josh, and I'll just put you down. I was trying to remember who said that. That's Santa, baby. Courtney and inked with Santa. Okay, I don't know if I'm going to shut it down now. There's the Santa emoji. Here's an off-topic one. You guys, hey, this would actually kind of be like should I do a Mystic Twitch? Because we already have the live over here. Look at, there's a prop for that was supposed to be there. That thing, got that at the thrift store. It was supposed to be a prop for the comedy channel. Go have coffee. Need to have that coffee. Yeah, go take a break. Yeah, I'm getting to the end of the cigar, so I'll take a break in a second, and then I'll film all these videos. If anyone has any other videos, we got thought transmission, remote seduction, changing your looks with that, adding Courtney to the Discord. Everybody else, if there's a Discord, if you want to go there. If there's a problem, send an email so I know what I could work on fixing that. Trusting yourself in the process is another video. Live guided meditation, which will be something more down the road. But if you guys think, what do you guys think about the Twitch idea? Should we talk manifesting while I play video games? I would actually need SP here for that one to read me the comments while I play. It would actually have to be something that it would take two people. I don't fully understand Twitch, but we already go live here, so I don't know if it's kind of redundant or pointless. I need to download Twitch if you're gaming on there. I also have to figure out how to set that up. See, that goes more into the technical stuff. That's why I got off Twitch before when I was trying to do that. When I was doing more of the comedy channel, I set one up, and I have no clue. I got on there a few times, I have no clue, but just chatting is a nice feature. My mom says, "Thank you, Courtney. It's pretty awesome. Thank you, Mom." My ADHD couldn't handle Twitch. My ADHD can't handle. Basically, yeah, I probably would not be able to handle that as well. But hey, that's negative self-belief on both of us. We can handle it. But that's why, because I want to go live on here more. I want to be able to make these videos. I've got these videos. I have something. I have to find where I wrote them down, though. Oh, there they are. Look how fast that was. 2, 4, 5. That's 10 videos right there. That should get us through the next 2 weeks if I film all those tonight. Remember, I used to also do that too. I would film the videos while we were live, and I would go take questions, and then I would just record the video right over here on the phone, and then go back to the chat, and then I would just keep doing the videos for the week. Maybe I should go back to that. But then if you watched it, then you've seen everything twice. Can't remember what platform you play Fallout on. Oh, I have it on PS4, but I have an Xbox too. And one of my friends was going to give me the new Xbox and the new PlayStation. I don't know if it was for free or a discount because he got them cheap. Even if I buy them off him, they'd be cheap. The tiny whiteboard. The tiny whiteboard is in my kitchen for some reason. It's been in my kitchen for a minute. I bought a big whiteboard. It's in the dining room. But I got a whole bunch of to-do lists written on there too, which I do have to book the next trip. That's been sitting on there. At this point, it's going to be expensive to book probably. But no. Negative self-belief. Because I got to catch myself. You know who's been calling me out the most is my mom and Lily. They've been calling me out on my negative self-talk and belief. That's something too. When you get that manifesting partner, that was the point of the Discord, which was so people could find manifesting partners too, but also not learn to rely on them so much too. We talked about that. There was the thread in that in the Discord as well. Okay, definitely need to play on Xbox so I could team up with you. We could play 2 players on Xbox, right? I should have did it when that sale was on there too. I do want to get one to do Mortal Kombat. I haven't played that in a game in a long time, but I know that's Lily's one of her favorite games too from when she grew up. I used to play when I was younger too, but I was never really super big into it. My favorite move was crouch and kick until you win the game. You are in Barbados. Exactly. Hey, that's one of the trips too I got planned too is Barbados. Mom, I'm going to bring you on that trip too. We're going to go visit where Neville was from. That was my only regret in LA, and I didn't remember until a week later. I wanted to take my mom and Lily to the Wilkshire Ebell Theater where he did all his lectures. And I overheard a Joseph Murphy lecture too. He was at the same theater. That's insane. They definitely knew each other. Mortal Kombat is my age group. Yeah, they kept continuing after because remember my SP is in your age group. So she loves that game. It continued down to mine, but I played the one where it was like the superheroes meet the Mortal Kombat characters, and I was just Batman every time. I can still hear the screen. Yeah, 76. Oh my God, that's a signature move, Nick. That's about your signature move too. Yeah, that's the best move. Ain't nobody gonna beat you with that. They never changed it throughout all the Mortal Kombat. I don't know if that lasted back in the day when the arcade games. That would be a good vlog too. There's actually an arcade, and close to where I am. It's in Chicago in the suburbs, kind of, but it's not far. Because technically I'm a suburb boy now. It's the Galloping Ghost. That would be a good one to do. Maybe I'll do a weekend in Florida or something. No, because what's it called? Yeah, I was going to say Ink. We could do like a meetup over there where everybody from the channel goes and meets up. If you're in Florida, because I know Ink is in Florida. Who else? I forgot his name. He always. I don't even know his name on here, but I know you. I don't even know if you're on here. I know you're on Snap though. You sent me messages. You told me you're in Florida. You were close to Miami because I had to cancel the Miami trip. That was supposed to be this past weekend. All my friends canceled, and my brother didn't want to go. So one day we're all gonna have a Mystic meetup somewhere. The Mystic Con. Whenever I get down or get negative, my SP says you are in Barbados. So your SP knows about you are in Barbados, but is more leaning towards the Christian side, which is still good too. I mean, that's what that's the thing too, is like so many people in those communities too, the religious communities, they want to attack everyone in the manifesting, and you realize at the end of the day that we're all preaching the same message here, but the religious people want to attack you if you're not using their terms. It reminds me of like on the job, if you call a tool a certain name, or I just know what the tool is and I just go grab it, and then you get you call them the old heads out there, and they'll be like, oh, actually it's called this, actually it's called, shut the fuck up. You know what it is. Same thing when the religious people want to attack me. It's like, no, actually it's this. You're praying. Okay, yeah, I say manifesting because there's people from all different religions on here. It's the same thing. People with their technicalities on stuff. You should produce a Neville video. Okay, that would be pretty cool. Neville escaped to Barbados, and he was leaving New York too. Escaped from New York. Yeah, I've been teaching him. He's super into it. There we go. Yeah, that's I've been teaching Lily too, and it's like I've seen a lot of like improvements in her life too. And it's like when you bridge it with the religion, sometimes people, if they only know the religious background, I mean, I came from fucking Catholic background. Well, I got to swear with it. I came from the Catholic background because that's everyone south side of Chicago. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you read the Bible, it's like it's preaching the same thing Neville said. Neville was reading the Bible the whole time. Neville escaped the ego. That'd be pretty good. And then finally, be like the Evil Dead video game. He's fighting like demons, the manifestations of your negative thinking. I started him with the Bible specific Neville quotes. That's the best thing too. Like one of the things when me and Lily were reading the Bible is I'd open the Neville book and we'd have the Bible open and she'd have her Bible. We have the Neville book in the middle. Read a chapter. He's got the quotes and I got them already highlighted in there. Like, let's go to the chapter. Boom, there it is. I highlight it there, and then highlight some other stuff that's beneficial. And it's like, boom, you see the whole book is just a manifesting thing. Yeah, and it helped a lot. Damn, we finally hit one of these long ones again. I'm done with this cigar. I'm tired of it. Dude ripped me off on those cigars too, but it all worked out in my favor anyway because it got me out of there. It was a weird cigar shop that I will never go back to. But I think we'll call it there because we're almost at 2 hours. It's been a while since we've done a long one like this. And I'm Jewish, so I throw in the Old Testament. Yeah, and it's in the Old Testament too. It's in all the stuff. And I learned that from you and Gary about that the Jewish faith was more just based. It's just like the Old Testament stuff, but there's plenty of stuff there too. And it's like, well, look, even that, it's like the Bible is just an addition to the Jewish book, and it's like all the religions and all the philosophies. Like I love the Stoic stuff. All of it's preaching the same message. So when people want to get mad and say stuff, it's like, show me it doesn't work. Like Neville said, test it, try, and show me it doesn't work. And it works. It's all the same. Yeah, it's all the same at the end of the day. They all preach the same message. If you're following people who are preaching positivity, it's all preaching the same message. Reverend Ike came from, what is it? He always has the joke about it. As he say, it starts with this, ends with that, with the church he was with. He thought of 2 different churches, different sects of Christianity, same stuff. Have a good night, Nick. Love you. Love you too, Inked. Love all of you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Mom, if you're still here, love you too. I got the videos. Take a little break, film those videos. So as always, I love you guys very much. Keep your heads up. You can't fuck this up. It is all working out in your favor. We go all the way from where we were at the beginning of this video, full circle. You can't fuck this up. I've got your video request. We'll go from there. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And that's it. Have a great night. And I'll see you. I'm going to say I'll see you next Monday just in case, but I'm going to try and get more lives in throughout the week and then do more for like the member exclusives because I know, Courtney, you're still a member. There was somebody else who was a member. So even if it is just Courtney, we'll just be doing that for now. It'll be almost a one-on-one session through the live stream, but I'm going to have I'm trying to. This is me breaking out of my laziness, identifying and embodying the person who's not lazy. We'll do that. But thank you, everyone. Love you guys very much. And I will see you next Monday for sure. God willing, you'll see me before. See you guys.